Okay, so we will quickly see how to handle Chrome options. So Chrome having and it exposes multiple options for us to explore, and I will go through a few of them in this lecture. Chrome options demo. So I will actually take any code to show this. Now you are simply passing executable path for your Chrome method and you are running it till now. But there are a lot of things you can do with this Chrome by providing specific instructions on how your browser should be invoked. Right now, till this lecture, you did not provide any instructions for your browser when it is invoking, but you can actually do that. There is a class called Chrome Options class with which you can actually set the behavior of your browser while invoking. Let me show you. WebDriver dot Chrome options, and by this it will create object for your Chrome options class. And now from this object you can actually add all the arguments and give necessary knowledge on how your browser should behave when it got invoked. Okay, so with this object from which we created from this Chrome options class, right? Object dot add argument. Somehow suggestions are not coming, that's okay. Yeah, I think because of C caps Chrome options, this one. Right. So now suggestions will open up. Yeah, add argument. Let's say you have to start your browser in maximized mode. We have already seen how to do with Selenium, but before invoking browser itself, you can give instruction like this: start maximized. Not only that, if you want to start your browser on headless, let's say, okay, when you use headless, then start maximized will be open in behind the screen, which you will not see before. I hope you are aware of headless browser. When you actually say to execute your browser in headless, the browser invocation you will not see in the front end. Okay, so browser invocation will all happen in the behind the screens, which you will not be able to see how execution is happening. But at the end, once execution is done, you will see the results. So that's why people say it as headless. When you say head mode, then you will see browser invoking, which we have seen till last lecture. But if you want to make your test headless to not invoke browser and do the operations in backend, then we will give that option. These days headless option is becoming more famous because it's less time consuming and it will be eat less memory in your virtual memory of your system. So that's why people suggesting to run them in headless mode for faster execution. So how do you tell to your Chrome browser to execute in headless mode? You need to simply add argument called headless. So basically you are giving all the behavior to your Chrome, and based upon that behavior you will ask to invoke. And whenever you, I think you have come across some sites where it will have some SSL certification and it will tell you to proceed on risk, and then you should click on proceed anyway, something like that, to access actual site. Basically we call them as certification errors. So Selenium by default will not ignore those errors. Your test will fail. But if you want your Selenium browser to accept and click proceed anyway automatically and land you on your actual page, you have to clearly tell to your browser that ignore all the certificate errors and go to your actual web page. So how do you tell? And that also you can do by predefined Chrome options. So you are adding all these options and giving knowledge to this Chrome options object, like how your browser should look like. Ignore certificate errors. If you wonder how would I know all these, like where can I see, if you just Google like Chrome options, you will see hell lot of blogs and official blogs as well. Okay, let me show you. Chrome options Python. Then I think there is one website I really liked. They have documented so much and with clear examples. Is this one? Yes, this is the one. Seriously, they have given all the arguments. Most of them we don't require, but you see that disable IPv6 for proxy connections, allow start maximized, ignore errors. But commonly we use Chrome options for ignoring certification errors, and if you want to start test in headless mode, and yeah, like this you can use many different arguments. And here this guy want to open window in specific size, and this is how you can give. Okay, and a lot of things are present here. You can actually go through them if you want to learn more about it. And headless disable GPU, and this will really improve your performance while executing if you use disable GPU flag. Alright, so there are different kind of examples, but as I said, mostly whatever we use I am showing you. We generally user agent, but if you want to reroute all your actions, like if you want to log in the way that you are logging from another country, let's say you are logging from India, but if you want to log in as a US citizen, sorry, any US candidate, so that you want to verify how the website looks like for US people, maybe all your currencies has to be shown in USD. For that you have to use user agent concept. Yeah, here. So like this you can just go through, and that will tell you so many options of how can you set your Chrome options. Okay, but these are most hot and famous, like ignoring headless and start maximized. Okay, so everything should be passed like this. Thereafter, how do you give knowledge of your Chrome options object to your actual invocation? So actual invocation happen in step number 10. Right now there is no connection between Chrome options object which have how to execute and step number 10 where real execution is happening. So it's very simple. You need to actually connect both of them. So use options. You see that options equals to, there is an argument which Chrome expects. One is executable path which is mandatory, and remaining all are optional. So options, in this options you have to pass this Chrome options object. Perfect. So that all the knowledge whatever your Chrome options is having, now you are sending to your browser invocation step. So while executing, first it will read all the Chrome options, and based upon that it will invoke your Chrome driver.exe, which will eventually invoke your actual browser. Okay, so this is the concept. Now if you want to print the title of the page, driver dot get title, right? Oh, that's in Java. Yesterday I had Java class, so that made this confusion. It's title. So for one batch I'm teaching Java in the mornings and I'm recording Python in the evenings. Just understand how hectic I am in switching all these topics. Alright. So I am now printing driver.title. So what happens? Now browser should not at all invoke, because we are asking to run in headless mode. In headless mode itself, in the backend it will start maximized, and of course there are no certification errors, so that will not impact us. Let's run this test and see. Run Chrome options demo. Okay, test execution started. Perfect. You see that Proto Commerce is the title of that specific page. Let me see. Yeah, Proto Commerce is the title and it printed. But where is the browser? There is no browser because we said headless. So like this, give all the knowledge with Chrome options class, and with that object all add arguments whatever you need. you can take help of this web page, and that will really help you to where is that, yeah, that will really help you to go through and experiment what all you need. And that's about Chrome options. I hope you enjoyed. We'll see you in the next lecture.